Welcome to Amateur Redneck Workshop. I'm Harold, and this is Tying Up Loose Ends number 14. Being a redneck and being me, I often come along with projects that I didn't finish, or didn't finish right, and so I've got loose ends to tie up here and there. And this is the video I had intended, but it's the one we got. So I lost the other one. It seems like I lost all the video for the last one. Usually a lot of people still say footage. I got video footage. But there's no tape involved in this. I don't even have an inch of video, much less a foot. It's all just bytes on a memory card. We need to somehow change the language to keep up with the time. I don't know how we're going to do that, of course. I tell you what, I'm starting to get kind of stir crazy with all this virus stuff. I'm a lot better off than the guys in prison, but I can tell you, I'm thinking about charging the wall, see if I can't get over or something. Oh well, let's just get on with the thing. You ever have that urge to look under the hood? Well, that's what's under the hood of my air compressor. Here's the little compressor cylinder here, and of course the crankcase underneath it, which does have an oil level, as you'd expect a crankcase to, and the motor is stuck right into the back end of it. I don't know if it's using any of that casting or not, but it's looks like a lot like your typical motor. I guess I could always look in there and see what's in behind the motor. Okay, so this end of the motor shares this casting here with the crankcase. So if you wanted the motor separate, you'd have to just saw off the crankcase. But if that's really a 1.5-horse motor, it could be handy to run a much better compressor, I think. At least I've been thinking about getting a real compressor to go on here instead of this little tiny compressor, one of their bigger ones. As some of you I'm sure remember, this grinder here is built from Jeremy Schmidt's plans, and he's made a lot of little accessories for it. This little thing here is so I can move it back and forth, drill a hole in your metal, and then you can make a perfect round end, perfect radius. One of the problems I've had with thin pieces of sheet metal is you're getting caught by the belt and sucked down in there between the belt and the table. So to stop that, I have this little piece here that comes and wraps around the belt on both sides. When I put a piece on there, it can't get sucked down into the belt because it's supported on both sides here, back past the end of the table and back past the belt. That's probably going to be one of my best improvements. Now if I want to make a good radius, you say that's too close, but it's not too close. It's just move it however you need to make the size radius you want. You just drill a 3/8 hole in your metal, stick it on there, use this to grind the radius, and you can move it around any size you want. Supposing I want a nice even radius on this thing here, I've got a hole there. Close enough. You can just keep advancing it in until it's as round as you want it. You can go in until it's the total closest radius. Look at that. Yeah, Mr. Pete had all these people sending pictures of how cluttered their workbench is. And I thought, son of a gun, I don't want my workbench looking like that. But there it is, so I'm going to try and clean it up. And there's something else I want to show you guys. You see all of those little stickers there? Bloomberg's coming to take away your Second Amendment rights. And don't think he's not serious. He's giving millions of dollars to the cause. I think he might give like $100 million. But we can beat him if we donate to our organizations. I'm members of several organizations that are devoted to preserving the Second Amendment and the First Amendment and pretty much the Bill of Rights in total, because if they cut one right out, they'll come back for the rest. Count on it. So a few $100s a year won't make your life any worse. Pick out your state gun rights organization, whoever's in your state. Donate money to them. They need money to get lawyers to, you know, stop illegal acts against our rights. Alright, things look a lot better than they did before I got started. All that junk that was piled up there has been neatly put away or thrown away. And I found something that I forgot about having. There's my Mr. Pete flywheel mold. This is for making lead flywheels for model engines. I made it because Mr. Pete said that nobody in the U.S. was going to make one of these when he made one, and so I figured out how big his flywheels were from looking at him holding one in his hand, and I made this little guy right here. This holds together. Got a pin through the middle so that the flywheel's got a hole in the middle to start with, and it's for making lead flywheels. I don't know exactly what to do with it. It's there. I guess if I want to make a lead flywheel, I'm all set. This is a little quick, easy thing that goes over there on the U2 grinder to hold bits down. And I didn't get to finish it properly because I broke off the tap in that hole right there, you know, being me. But so I just put a piece of tool steel on that side to, you know, hold it up. But I intended to put a number 10 screw down through there so that when I clamp down on things, the clamp will stay even. So I'm going to remake it. Right over here, give me an excuse to run the Precision Matthews, and that's always a good thing. Alright, back to the cutting. Yeah, I got running a little slow. That's close enough. Now I'm going to take it over to the bandsaw and slice off the end. Now then I'm going to take this and kind of round off the corners and knock the burrs and stuff off over there on the belt sander. I've got plenty of time to make this into a work of art. I just don't have the inclination. and how that goes. That's rounded as it's going to get. The weather on this side of Houston has switched back to semi pre-spring for the past few days. We had some days where it was like 82 and 85, and now it's back to 55 at night, and that's not at all what I had hoped for, but it's okay. That looks pretty well like the middle. This time I'm not going to break a tap off in that hole. I'm going to drill it straight through to the tap size, and then I'm going to drill halfway down with a larger drill bit so that I don't have to thread just about a 1/4 inch. I don't even need that much threads. Okay, I've set the collar on my drill press so that I can only drill that deep. And now we'll move around over it, line with it. That ought to be all the drilling, I hope. We'll find out. Power tapping the little burro wasn't how I broke the tap off last time. I actually broke it off doing it by hand, which was really disturbing. This way I just start it and shove it down there, and it just goes in however much it wants to, and it starts slipping in the chuck. See how it went slipping in the chuck? That won't break it. It's these ham-handed, heavy-fisted rednecks that break them with a tap wrench. Alright, I'll get a tap wrench, we'll finish this up. Pierre says, chamfer the hole before you thread it, and once again I've forgotten to do what he said. But maybe one of these days it'll get to be a regular habit, because sometimes I remember, not all the time. Well, there shouldn't be but just a little bit of metal here to thread. And I'm not going to pull on it hard, because I remember the last tap that I broke in there, and I'm starting to run out of these. These are 1024 taps. And I'm down to 2. And I used to have about 5 or 6. They last pretty good while in aluminum if you don't break them. Alright, now that's how I intended to work in the first place. This piece to be a little screw to give me leveling and hold the tool bit you're going to sharpen down with the middle piece. That's finished anyway. Right, finally. Well, it's a little on the cool side, but this would be probably summer up there in Illinois. Kind of cool for Texas. I gotta hurry up and get some kind of cover for the boss lady's car. I think a patio cover is what we'll call it. Well, Bubba got him a new job at a big multinational company there, and he went in for training and stuff. And on the first day he called the kitchen and says, "Hey, get me a cup of coffee up here real quick." And the voice on the other end says, "You redneck, you dialed the wrong number.
Do you know who you're talking to? And Bubba says, no, sure don't. It's the managing director of the company, says the red angry executive. Bubba shouted back, well, listen here, you idiot. Do you know who you're talking to? And the manager says, real angry, no, I don't. Bubba says, good. Slammed down the phone. Well, that's all, folks. Y'all try to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Leave a comment if you got something to say. And above all, remember, keep on keeping on. Bye now.